Ryan, I have an older temporary roommate, a single woman in her early 60s. I would like to find ways of checking in with her about her current apartment housing search and seeking clarification of both of our personal boundaries. Tell me more.
My roommate is an older woman who he's known for 10, 15 years. She was kind of like his random date once in a while. She came to my sister's wedding. Um, and she communicates very passive aggressively. Apparently, she has some pretty significant trauma history. She was estranged from her family, and she's not very good at, I should say that our two personalities are not very good at communicating with one another in an open and receptive way. So,
Give me an example of something you want to be able to say and how she responds so that I can get a quick picture.
okay, so when I moved in, I clarified that my financial situation is very tight, it's very finite. Um, I will require certain things until I get on my feet, and we kind of agreed that I was going to use kind of shared resources, soap, and things like that. And she eventually raised her voice very aggressively, very high pitched, just angrily, and then went off casting accusations or assumptions and presumptions, whatever it is that she could think of to, I guess, let off steam or stress or whatever. And then she forbid me from using her soap, forbid me from touching her resources in the home and all that stuff. And eventually, because I eat and I didn't have any soap at the time, I was using her dish soap. Eventually, she started taking my dishes and silverware out of the dishwasher, washing the dishes, and then placing my stuff back in the dishwasher dirty. Um, and she has pretty much been hoarding her stuff and hiding it and all that stuff very passive aggressively. No communication. It's just stuff
Oh,
she
she's communicating. She's
definitely.
communicating very clearly. Tell me what is she communicating? Put that into words for me. You know what she's saying. What is she saying?
I'm hearing that she feels scared and threatened. She feels worried. I'm hearing that she doesn't really know how to address the situation, believing that she's going to be heard. So she's just taking action. I'm
And
hearing
what is she taking? What is she, if she could say it in words, what would she be saying to you through her actions?
she doesn't want me to touch her stuff, I guess.
Great.
Like
Start
that's
right there. That's all you do. That's it. That's it. It seems like you are wanting um more agency over your own things. It sounds like you don't want to share your things with me. It looks to me like you're wanting more division.
mm-hmm.
Is that true?
Okay.
Make it explicit. Make the thing that is being acted out explicit. I noticed that you took my dishes out. I'm guessing it means that you don't want me using your dish soap. Is that true?
Okay.
Help her say it directly. Give her permission. That's how you give her permission to just tell you the truth. Yeah, I don't want you to use, thank you. That's helpful. That clarifies. It sounds like something has changed for you since our first agreement. Is that true? Would you be willing to catch me up?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Make it safe for her to tell you the truth.
That actually sounds so simple. It's elegant.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, thank you. Uh, and in terms of inquiring about her search, she initially mentioned that she'd probably be out in a month. And that was before I moved in. It was about a month before I moved in, and I kind of had
Mhm.
to rush through things because apparently we went past that deadline.
Mhm.
Then she mentioned October, and potentially December. And I
Mhm.
know that her personality doesn't like being questioned. Like when she doesn't like to have things brought up, but she does like to bring things up
Mhm.
repetitively. So I was wondering how I might be able to add asking about, like how she's doing with her search. I know that she's having some trouble. I know that like work can be tight, it can be difficult. She's single and she's got to take care of her dog. There's a lot of things that are on her mind, and she might be worried about those things. So I'd like to be able to connect with her,
Mm-hmm.
uh, not only before, but during that
Mm-hmm.
questioning or that like
Mm-hmm.
inquiry, even if it's just like a soft, curious comment.
Is it because you're uh, I'm just confused, so catch me up. Are you trying to have a more connected relationship with her because you care about her, or because you need to figure something out, or because
Both.
how
Quite literally both, because I know that she's a pretty consistent part of my father's life, and I want to make
okay.
sure that we can maintain that relationship. And
Okay.
also, I'd like to be able to like be aware of when I can get my belongings from my friends who are also kind of curious about stuff. I have some friends that are holding my belongings. I've got my father's
Yeah.
house that's stuff, so I'd like to
My
kind
guess is with this person, as you've described them, that creating safety, being very direct and very gentle about why you're asking for what you're asking, and less is more. It does not sound to me like this person is wanting to have a deep, meaningful relationship with a lot of verbal engagement.
of.
But that doesn't mean that you can't establish conditions and little interactions that
Yeah, yeah.
feel safer and better to both of you. And I would just speaking generally, and then you tell me where you want to go. I would not be worrying about her personality or who she is or how she is or what her preferences are. I'd be more grounded in what is it that I'm needing? I'm needing some clarity. So let me make it safe for her to tell me what's true. And then when she tells me what's true, let me figure out how that can be a good experience for her. Right. And then when there's something that I'm needing, let me ask for it very directly, in a way that I'm inviting her to help me with something. And I've detoxed any idea of wrongness or should or power or what's wrong with you. Like if any of that is in the space, I've kind of detoxed it.
Mhm.
What do you think about that as an outline? And then is there a particular thing that you want some help framing up?
Um, I think that's a wonderful outline, and I might be able to, write some stuff down,
Mm-hmm.
just to kind of spitball how I want to approach it. I'll probably overthink it, but it's
Yeah,
what.
yeah. Put all
Um,
the overthinking in your journal.
mm,
Let all of your overthinking is the part of you that really cares about understanding and clarity and nuance and complexity. So love up that part of you, right? But it sounds like my guess is more words are going to be overwhelming for her. And my guess is somebody who begins doing some of the things that you're describing has pretty strong needs for privacy, pretty strong needs for territoriality. And those usually come from a place of not feeling safe and secure in a particular environment and not having a lot of trust of other people. And I would make sure not to take that too personally. And then I would just try as much as possible to give her a safe, gentle, non invasive, consent oriented experiences with me over and over and over again.
okay, that sounds reasonable. Little bit of a added caveat, sort of difficult because she sleeps on the couch that's right in the door, like
Yeah. Yeah.
pass foot from her head to like get to the kitchen at night.
Yeah.
And she also spends the majority of her time on her computer, which is in the corner of the
Yeah.
main living space.
So, Oscar, how that's going? How is that for you? Is there anything we could be doing that might make that easier? Like you can also just be like on the table. I'm really invested in this working well for both of us. I can see some things are getting glitchy. It
Mhm.
sounds like I think I'm reading that you're wanting more of this, this, and this. Is that true? I'm happy to give that to you.
Mhm. I've actually
And
been really curious about that as well.
yeah,
Because I always walk by her and everything. And on top of that, as I walk by her dog, who is like afraid of everyone and
yeah,
every noise outside, every movement inside, everything.
yeah,
When she leaves in the morning, if she doesn't take him to work, he barks
yeah,
for 2 hours and stuff.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but he's always like 6 inches from her foot.
Hmm.
And as I walk downstairs, she has to go through the process of being all kind of anxious and panicked, saying, you know, shut up, Jack, and,
Hmm.
quiet, and going through this kind of like yelling fit with her dog.
Hmm.
So I feel like I'm not able to give her definitive privacy or even like that. that independent space because the majority of her belongings are literally in the middle of our living space.
Mhm.
And I think that every time that I approach her, she's immediately put on edge because she's trying to calm her dog down in a more dominative way than,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sounds
So
really stressful for you as well.
it's a little hard. I have skipped,
Yeah, I can imagine.
literally skipped meals sometimes when she's home.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's in situations where we don't see a practical way to meet everybody's needs in an ideal way,
Mhm.
we can still express care for the needs we wish we could meet.
Absolutely.
We can still build in safety and connection by naming the needs that we both wish we both had more met right now,
Mhm.
and how hard it is to be in a position where we aren't able to get those needs met as well as we would like, and how we are not each other's enemy and we're in it together and we both care and we're going to do the best we can with limited resources.
Okay. That actually sounds pretty, when stated in such a simple way or a well-defined way, I
Mm.
think I may be able to simply look at like a needs list and kind of assign specific needs to what I see
Hmm.
in certain interactions.
Hmm.
And then I might be able to kind of bring that to conversation,
Hmm.
even if it's, I mean, as succinct as possible, because I like to write and I like to talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I
yeah,
think you've got this. Do you feel like you've got some ideas and some pathways to try?
I do feel like I'm at peace with it now.
Oh, good. How lovely.
Yeah, I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. I trust that when you get into those situations, the words will find you, the right words will find you.